started process. And we have all that under one single link or series of funnels inside the app. And what that means is, I just want to reiterate it for a minute. When I got on the phone with Jeremy Roma and went through the getting started process, it can be cumbersome. It can be a lot of information. And if you recruit 2-3 levels down very quickly, you're asking a brand new rep.
Recording in progress.
You're asking a brand new rep to literally be able to walk somebody through all that. And now we have all the tutorials and the videos on exactly what the steps are, right? And so you can see where the breakdown is, where they got stuck in the transition. So if you want to know all about that process, we went through it in great detail on the previous call, and that's available in the app under the Getting Started section for free. The premium version of the app is the marketing side of things. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and how you can generate more leads and you can follow up more quickly with better tools so you can convert higher. Ultimately, we're talking about selling and recruiting more effectively. Okay, so that's what we're going to get into today, I'll say, because it all depends what time of day we are around the world. You guys are certainly a global company. So the little bit of housekeeping beforehand, you know, and I've heard different people ask different questions about some of this. So I want to make sure you understand that the data that's in the app, and this is really important to us, the data that is in the app, that is your data. The only person that will ever see the names of your prospect, the phone numbers, the email addresses, etc., is you. Even Daisy Corporate can't see that information, right? And one of my great frustrations in this business, and I'm actually going to pull up, I want to show you our manifesto, but one of my great frustrations in the networking business today is the stealing of data. And Facebook and YouTube are the primary thieves. Right? I'm just calling it the way it is. Now, is that technically true? No, because they put it in their terms and their agreement. But when you generate interest with somebody on YouTube, or you post a video to YouTube, or you send somebody to a YouTube video to watch something in particular, they're literally gathering the data around that topic, and they're selling advertising to the next person trying to do something similar. Now, it doesn't matter if your feature is better or the opportunity or whatever it is, they're selling that data. So how do you navigate this? Use Facebook and use YouTube. It's a great way to generate leads, but get people into your private platform as fast as you possibly can. Okay, so I want to show you a manifesto that is near and dear to our heart. And I just want to point out real quick, you know, one of the things that is a primary goal for us, maybe I won't show it. Yeah, I will. There we go. You know, as you look at this list here, is we want to drive the behavior of the organization. And we also, number 4 on that list, is we value the individual's right to own their data over Facebook, YouTube, or for that matter, anyone else, right? This is your data. And it means, you know, hypothetically, no matter where you go in networking, you're building a database. Mike, I went to a friend's house and he's written a bunch of books in network marketing. He's one of the top income earners. He's built massively, all this stuff. And this was probably 10 years ago. And he had a database of about 6,000 people, if I recollect. And he sent an email out that weekend, and he recruited 3 people over the weekend on a simply well-crafted email. And I thought to myself, I've been in this industry for 20 years almost at the time, and I have not built my own database. That's just, it was mind-boggling to me in this day and age of technology. And yeah, I'm the CEO and founder of Rapid Funnel and the Daisy app, the platform you operate on. And you say, well, how do you, who is not a technology person, how does that happen? I was simply trying to solve a problem. Now, we service 100 companies globally. We have employees in 9 countries around the world. We've got the best technology in the world for you. But what you have to do is you have to leverage it, and you have to build a database. And it's nice that every Uber driver you meet, every person you bump into, that you share a little bit of information, to have the details, the searchable notes in the database, to be able to label every one of those prospects about what they're interested in, who they are, where you met them. So you have a constant contact of sorts, an email broadcast list that from your back office, you can email all of those individuals. And because you put a label on it and you put some notes in there that are searchable, you'll be able to go back to that data and know exactly who they are, what information they've seen, right? And even if you move on, there's a simple method that you can maintain the app and keep all those contacts. Now, I don't think we need to cover that today, but I just want you to know that this is your information. And if you're a professional networker, you want to have it with you for the rest of your life. So with that stuff said, let me jump over to the app here. I'm going to pull that screen down. Mike, I'm going to jump over to the app itself. There we go. Whoops.
You're good. We see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now all I need to do is see where I put the Daisy app. Oh goodness. The good news is, Micah, I did download it. It is open.
There it is. There it is. I see you right there. Middle. Up. It was a second line right there, top. Right next to current stop. In the middle, see the here, I'll annotate it for you. Third column down, fourth column down to second on the right.
Thank you.
The D. There you go.
Okay. So I'm sure everybody saw that before I did. So here's your Daisy app. And again, you guys should be aware, you've got 2 versions available, right? You've got one version available that is the free version, standard, and it's got all your getting started right resources. So if I click on resources under getting started, that's your getting started link. You can send it to somebody. And this is once they've made a decision, it will walk them through every single step necessary for them to get started. What I wanted to talk to you about is this opportunity portion and how we can improve it and make it better over time. So if you're listening to this, just be aware of this, is that Michael has helped us create some incredible content. And we would not be nearly as far as we are without somebody reaching in, working with our team and helping to create the content, especially this getting started right process, which stays up to date all the time. So if something changes at corporate or some Coinzoom or Zoom coin opportunity gets added, it automatically gets added to your getting started process. That's what's so awesome. You don't have to follow all of that. You just have to be able to send somebody the getting started right process. Now, this is the same for the peak interest and the opportunity tools. But what I want to let you know here is through your individual top tier leadership, they can work with Micah. Now, that leader may not be on the phone right now, but they have the ability to reach out to Micah's team, the Grow team, connect with them directly, and create their own content, their own welcome video. You can host your own training calls on how to use the platform, right? And what this means is you can create a culture within your organization and you can drive prospecting and follow-up more aggressively than you ever could otherwise. It is about speed of execution that wins the day. The team that tells the story the most and they follow up the most effectively is the team in Daisy that's going to win. So if I go under opportunity and I've got 5 minutes to kill and I'm waiting to pick up my kids in a parking lot or school or whatever it is, and I just pop over and I look through my contacts and I want to send somebody a peak interest resource, there are 4 resources available to them. An intro text for survey, the social survey, an intro text for video, or a 3-minute Daisy intro. Now you can decide at the point of discovery, you can decide, hey, what do I need to send to somebody here? Well, how about the intro text for survey? If I want to send somebody a survey and I want to just send them a quick text, boom, I can click on that. You see the 3 buttons that pop up below. I can send it via email, text, or social. Now, I'm not going to get a ton into all the details because we did some of that basic tutorial in the last call, and we don't want to be redundant there. And Mike is going to do some advanced training here today as well. So if you need the 101, like, man, how do I just add a contact and send something? I really encourage you to listen to the previous video that was recorded, or go to the app and hit the more button, go up to coaching, and you can watch some of the coaching videos that are available for some of that basic training as well. So going back to opportunity here, I click on peak and I can send that resource directly to whoever the prospect is. Now, I want to pull up the social survey for a second, and I want you to think about using this on Facebook and other social platforms as a lead generation tool. Okay, so if I go directly to the app, let me show you this. This is important. Instead of going to contacts and sending a resource, which links that resource to that contact, so I know when they clicked on it, if it's a video, I know how many minutes that contact watched the video, and then I can see the notes. I can see the activity log right there under that contact name and information. But what if I just go to resources right now? I click on the button resources directly. I click on opportunity. I click on peak. I go to social survey, and I send this via social media to my Facebook page or some other social platform. And I ask all the people viewing it, hey, who could do me a favor? I'm doing some market research. I would love to know a few questions regarding the crypto space, right? And then I send this 1-minute survey, and it says, how long have you owned digital currency? What approach have you taken with digital currency so far? Are you familiar with the fastest growing segment of digital currency called DeFi, right? So I asked some questions right there on the digital currency space. More inclined to invest in digital currency if there was a way to have more of the trading handled for you. All I'm trying to do is get into the head, the psyche of that prospect to see what they know about the space. These answers go into the notes section for each prospect. But if a prospect fills this out, you notice down here at the bottom, you know how these boxes are all blank? Well, that's because 10 people on your social platform could fill out the answers. You're going to get 10 new leads generated and loaded into your app. You're going to get push notified that they are there, and you're going to know what the notes are, how they answered each survey individually, because it's under their contact card. Now, what you need people to do is tell the story more often, to generate more leads, and to follow up more effectively. Here's a powerful and a simple way for you to do that every time. Okay? So, Micah, the last thing I just want to share is a little bit of a couple of the features that from a personal use perspective, individuals can leverage. Okay, so I want to show you one under the events calendar. I see a number of things popping up there. I think it's in the chat section. Are you monitoring that for us as well?
Yes, yes. So is Ernan, your dedicated GTE. He's on here.
Awesome. That's great, man. Thanks so much. Okay, so check this out. There's a calendar feature that's in the app, and it allows you to invite prospects and for yourself to see the different calendar of events that are happening in Daisy. If I click the more button in the bottom right-hand corner and I go to calendar of events, it's dead center, 3 rows down, and I click on events, here are all the events that are available. You won't have to do all this because I'm just in a demo app here. It'll just go straight to calendar. And whatever day I click on, I can see what events are available on that day, so I can send an invite to somebody. I can search events by clicking in the top right-hand corner, and it gives me a way to change the country code, province, different things. And as we get more and more leaders that work with the Grow team and Micah and Ernan and all the team over there, we'll have more and more content loaded. But here's what I wanted to show you specifically. It is really nice being able to go to contacts, go to calendar, and send a very professional event to somebody. You can create these events as an individual user of the app. I just click the calendar with the plus button in it in the top right-hand corner. And when I do that, I can title an event. I can put it in a category. I can put what type of event it is, add a description, the address, location if I want. These aren't all mandatory, obviously, but it allows you the functionality to create your own event. And then how about personal resources? We all send stuff out on social media. We send stuff out via text, via email, you name it. And almost everything we send has a URL. It has a link. Whether we send a video or we send a PDF or an article we came across or our grandma's cooking recipes, those can be in a link too. If I take family pictures, I can create a link for them in Google. I can take that link and I can add any link I want to my own personal resources. So if I click resources in the app in the middle left column, you see that? Resources. This is where my company resources are hosted. The opportunity, the getting started, content. But if I click the toggle switch at the very top and I go to personal, these are resources that I can create that are trackable, that I can send to prospects, friends, new distributors, etc. Any kind of content that I want to put here. As if it has a link, I can add it. How do I do this? I click the Add New button. Add a new resource. Well, very similar to the calendar, I can create a title for it so I know what it is. I can put the subject so it autofills the first name, but in the subject line, if it's email, and this is all explained right here with the question marks. Like if I click on that question mark, the subject line will be used when sending this resource through email only. It tells me exactly what it's for. The pre-written message, if I click on that, enter a pre-written message for this resource, the pre-written message will show up in the body of the email and text of social. So I'm able to put my own link in down here for that particular resource, save it, put it under a specific category that I want it under. And now anytime I send that resource, I know when the individual I sent it to clicks on it, because the app is going to notify me. This is a really obviously powerful feature. And because this is your personal app and nobody else has access to the information, right? That's a beautiful thing. Now, Micah, I think that is probably enough on my end. Unless there's anything that you think I should mention, I want to explain the Grow team just for a second. But anything else that you can think of?
No, I can cover it in mine. I took some notes here, what you covered, and I'll just skip through that in mine. So that works great. Thank you. It's always good to have the CEO on the call.
Well, listen, I went out to Dubai. I got to meet the leadership. What a really sharp, incredible group of entrepreneurial people. That was really fun. And Micah, the launch team did a great job putting all this together. You lead the Grow team at the company. And the Grow team is dedicated really to helping leaders in the organization crush it using this platform. So I don't remember the name of the leadership level. I know you do, Micah, and maybe you should just throw that out to everybody. If you have somebody in that leadership role and you guys have a good team culture, or there's some specific content that you guys think you could crush it with, I want you to think of it this way. if Constant Contact or Aweber or Infusionsoft or some email platform came to you and they said, hey, we're going to build out a bunch of resources for you, and ClickFunnels came to you so you could create capture pages, and Wistia or Vimeo or one of those video platforms came to you and said, hey, we'll be the host for you to create all your videos so you can host them privately so nobody's stealing the data around those videos. And then you went to SurveyMonkey and they came to you and said, hey, you know, I know our platform's expensive, but we're going to give it to everybody for free. All we need you to do is work with this group of companies, create all the content. We'll make all these platforms talk to each other, and then we're going to deliver it to each and every rep in the field so they don't have to do any of that. It's all personalized to that individual rep. What would you say if all these companies came to you? Well,
No, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah, right? Now they might be overwhelmed. They're like, even though you're paying for it and you're going to seamlessly put all this together and you're going to deliver it to my team, you mean I gotta work with you and create all this? Guys, all of that's done. And your leader.
Thanks to Michael.
Yeah, well, and Michael's done a great job creating content. But what I want to point out is that there are other people that can be a Michael, right? There are teams that are out there. Now, Michael's done, nobody else was willing to do all the work that he did. So if you're good with that, roll with it. You got everything you need. And Michael will be the first one to tell you, hey, we've got it put together for you. But on the other hand, if you're saying, hey, I'd like to personalize some of this with my leadership, I'd like to have my own welcome video, this, that, or another, that's where the Grow team comes in, and they will help you accomplish just that. And we can even have a breakout call for your team. So we want to help you get the story told. So Mike, I appreciate what your team does. They do an extraordinary job helping elevate companies, some of the fastest growing companies in all of the industry. We've got the data to back it up, and now we're going to help Daisy do that exact same thing. So let me turn it to you, my friend.
Thank you, Patrick. And now let me reiterate that too and put it in my own words. I get to work with over 100 plus of the top companies in direct sales, some dynamic leaders. I love Daisy. I was in Dubai too and met plenty of you guys. I want to reiterate what Patrick said. The way we grow this app is, if you're a leader, if you're a strong team, you know a leader, and you want your own content in the app, I put my business card, my Rapid Funnel business card in the chat. Contact me. We have what is called a group code manager role, which basically allows you to put in your own events, your own resources, your own videos. If you got your own training and coaching, your own contests, you can send push alerts to your whole team. That's how we grow the app. We usually take a few leaders, or the enterprise has hired us. And then once we launch the app, we look for those leaders, we get their buy-in. And what I do is pretty simple. I get with all the leaders and I get, what is the 8 things that we need to train? And we put them in the app as a corporate structure. And then we work with leaders. So I'm looking for leaders. Now, if you only have 2 people on your team, we may need to talk about that. I know, and that's fine. But if you have a good flow and you're a tech guy, great. And the cool thing is, when you put in your team group code, only you see that, only your team. So, I know we had a couple hundred people on here last week. We only have 34. I think something was said about, why are we doing this on Rapid Funnel Zoom? Listen, let me tell you what, we already have your data anyway. Okay. We wouldn't be in business if we abuse that data. The reason it's on our line, and we'd be happy to do this on the Daisy line, where there's translations, you just invite us, make it happen. Okay. And we'll teach this. So listen, the reason you're on this line is because Ernan, your dedicated GTE, and I are going to personally follow up with you guys if you need to do a one-on-one. I'm also going to tell you about a daily user training we have. It's very rare that we come on. This is how much we love you, and do these type of trainings, especially weekly, for an event, especially with the CEO. I'm usually leading them, and we want you guys to have every opportunity to succeed, to reach your full potential. So I just put in there our daily user training. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to click that. That's another way to get some one-on-one. Also look for the email that Ernan and I will be sending out afterwards with the recap of the video. And you could do a one-on-one with us, ask us questions, whatever. I'm going to get started here and share my screen. All right. And make sure I got the whole screen here. Thank you for that, Patrick. And Ernan, can you man the chat? I'm going to minimize this. So yeah, you can sign up for your daily user training here as well as this training will be in the coaching section of your app, which is the last week's is in the app already. You go down to more. Can everybody see my screen? I hope. I know I messed it. Go down to more in the bottom right and then go to coaching right here. See where my hand is. And then right here, Daisy app training. This is specific. There's last week's training. So you can watch it there. I'm going to go to the, hold on, my son's alarm. Hey, Cash. He doesn't have school today, so he lets his alarm roll and roll. Anyway, what I like to start with, instead of just the dashboard and explaining all this to you guys, and I have some advanced things for you too. If you use Facebook Messenger to prospect, I'm going to show you how to put the Facebook chat on all your funnel pages here in a little bit. But let me cover some basics just for you guys that are new. Go down to the bottom and more. Let's make sure your settings are correct, because if your settings aren't correct, then you'll have all kinds of issues and you won't know why. But let's make sure your picture's updated. Right here, you click the picture and you can upload. And that's important because it's on your business card, your digital business card. You know, I was in a convention a couple weeks ago in Phoenix, thousands of people. Somebody raised their hand. I pay $300 a month for a business card, a digital business card. I'm like, you what? I mean, I didn't even know that was possible. I mean, I paid $5 for one. And she was just ecstatic that it was in her app for, you know, you guys get it for $9. I think our regular, and because Daisy is paying the difference, is around $19. You get all that value for $9. I saw the question about, you know, can you blast people? I'm going to answer that in a second. But let's look at these account settings. When you go to account settings right here under the picture, you'll see, make sure this is filled out. Make sure you use the email that you use in your business. Make sure you have your phone number, your actual cell number, not a landline. Because how are people going to text you, right? And then make sure your time zone's right. For those of you that live, you know, on the edge of a time zone, the phone automatically adjusts. Make sure it's right. You could get your notifications maybe an hour later if this is not correct. So make sure that your time zone is always correct. I'm going to hit save there. And then I'm going to go to notification settings. This is, you know, this is probably the #1 tech support issue. I'm not getting my notifications. I don't know how much they watch the video or when they watch the video. They're coming late. It's because these are unchecked. Make sure they're checked. Also in your phone notifications, right? For Android and iOS, make sure your phone app notifications are on, because you can override these notifications in app with your overall phone settings. So I know I'm diving into some technical meat here, and I hope you guys are digesting it. Languages, you know, we have all these languages available in the app, but this only changes the dashboard. We need to work with you guys. If you're Italian and you want to translate the resources that we have, raise your hand, contact me, talk to your leaders. We can get all these languages in the app, but this only changes the dashboard. We still need you guys to translate the resources, right? So also your group code, as I mentioned, if we get more leaders in here, you know, more languages, you would put, say, Italian in here. Right now, Daisy is the only group code. So, you know, we've got accounts with 40 or 50 group codes based on product, based on flows. So we really need to build this out together and make it better, constantly make it better, make it your app, your prospecting tool to win, right? Make sure your address is in there. Do as I say, not as I do, right? In this app, because your country is very important. Your state is very important. We send push notifications, and events are targeted to your address. So make sure your address is in there. Now, another important thing is make sure your username is correct. If you have any questions about this, just click the little question mark and it will tell you down at the bottom what to put in. Now, look, if this isn't right, your replicated site won't work. Sorry, I've got sinus infection. I know I sound like a frog today, but hopefully you can hear me. So hit the question mark and put in your Daisy user, just the username, not the full URL. And this links up when you sign people up or recruit people. This is what creates that link from the app to your guys' replicated websites. This is new, the custom booking link. So I'm going to work with Michael and your other leaders to make sure that your custom booking link is on your funnel pages. This is great. You got a Calendly, whatever you have, put the full URL in here. This is your opportunity to put a unique, your web, whatever you want, that your booking software can go in here, and it's on all your funnel pages as a button as well. And then, of course, make sure all the social media is filled out. If it's not, let me show you how it looks. I'm going to go to real quick. This is my business card on our Rapid Funnel app. And you can see this is completely filled out. I got my picture, the prospect. This is a great low-hanging fruit, easy way to share something with a prospect, right? Non-invasive way, non-salesy. Just let me give you my business card information, a way to capture their information. But look, I've got the book me button right here. So make sure everything's filled out, and then follow me on all these social medias. And then you can even put your custom buttons, whatever you want, down here in the bottom. And Ernan, can you put the video on how to customize this? I'll put this in the chat, and we'll put this up in the follow-up email. But you could customize your business card any way you want here. And of course, it goes in different languages. That's a Google thing, which we do have that translation. But again, your WhatsApp, whatever you use, it's all in here. So I want to cover settings because it's so important. That's the first place you go to make sure your app is right. Let's go down. We talked about notifications, adding a contact. I'll do this real quickly again. I know we covered this last week. There may be some new people on here. You add a contact very simply by hitting the plus button, and then you can either peck it out, or we have this nice little wizard here you can click, or you just hit import. Now, look, we talked about this last week. Can you authentically share with 1,000 people today, right? Our thing is authentic sharing. We are the right blend of technology and automation, right? No one likes to get automated, right? Everybody has a sixth sense now about whether they're being automated or right. So we blend authenticity. We write all the emails like they're coming from you, right? They're not glitzy and glam and have all these photos. And, I'm a digital marketer, own my own digital marketing agency for 25 years, been in app development and web development since the beginning. And I tell you, I love it. We need more authenticity. And in direct sales and network marketing, that's really what you need. And so you do one contact. So only do what you can manage that day. If you import 20,000 contacts like I did when I first got the app, that's not authentic, and it becomes very hard to manage in the app. So I'm going to look for my iPhone real quick. I think I'm already in here because I did it last week. And then you just hit yes. And then if you've got an email in here, and then you hit save. Now, if you go back to the contact, let's talk about this contact and when to assign to campaigns. You go into contacts. Excuse me 1 second. Check this sort button out right here. I want you to see this. Hopefully you can see these two buttons. This button right here, I can sort from new to old, okay? And this filter is for labels, okay? So if I just want to see who's a business owner, I can do that. And there I am, all right? So when I open this, let me tell you about how this works. This is your contact screen, okay? I can see Mike has got a score of 44. He's almost on my hot list. He's a business owner. I've assigned him to the opportunity campaign. Now, look, don't just put people into a drip campaign without talking to them first. I mean, we have a 99.9% delivery rate, and we want to keep it that way. Okay. So make sure you talk to everyone before you assign them into these email campaigns, because once you do, they're going to get an email right away with a confirmation link for a double opt-in. So the time to do that is when they've maybe not said yes and they've not said no. They're kind of hanging in the middle, right? And you say, look, do you mind if I just follow up with you via email from time to time? And of course they're going to say yes. And then you assign them. and it says, look, just click the link to make sure I got your email right. And once they do that, I can't tell you guys how many times I do this and somebody in the chat goes, you know what? I put somebody into assign them to a campaign and 6 months later they bought because it wasn't the right time then, but it is now. And I totally forgot about them. Thank you. That's how you use our campaigns. And you know what? We reward you if you get 30 people opted in, okay? 30 people. We unlock the MailChimp, what I like to call constant contact feature, right? That was asked just a second ago. Can you send a blast to multiple people at once? And the answer is yes, if they're opted in, right? So once you get 30, you go into the back office, which is our web app. And you can get there by going to rapidfunnel.com and clicking in the login button right here. Okay. Let me see if I can get into Daisy real quick. So you guys can see this. Hopefully. There we go. Let me see. Should have had that logged in already. Hey, we're in. So this is what we call the web app. Okay. Now, once you're in here, you can send blasts. Okay. You can do everything you can do on the app. Some people, about 10% of our users only use this exclusively. They're usually people that network on LinkedIn as I talk to these power users. But you have everything that you can do in the app right here on your desktop as well. And there's some things that you can do on the desktop that you can't do on the app, mostly admin things. So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that this was here. Specifically, there's some features in here. So you can blast people, but if your opt-in rate drops below 10%, we actually take your email privileges away. So be careful about that. If you're a spammer, or you're not following the rules, you hurt the rest of the team, right? You get the domain blocked, and then the whole company's labeled as a spammer. We have to change the domain name. So do the process right. So I know some of you, are paying $50, $100 for MailChimp Constant Contact. You get all that value right here for $12 in the app. We got a bunch of people coming in right now, so I appreciate it. Welcome to the call. I'm going to go back. I'm going to share my phone again. So anyway, got off on a little tangent there, but that was a question in the chat I wanted to answer as well. Okay, so look at all the other things you have in here. If there's a survey answered under notes, all that information will be there. All your reminders are going to be here. Fortunes in the follow-up. This ties to your personal calendar on your phone. So make sure you hit reminders. And then, of course, the activity log is right here. Everything that happened with that prospect will be right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send a resource. And Patrick talked about this a little earlier. I'm going to actually follow through and show you how to do that. Hit the send resources right under the star. You see the little hand moving, right? Send resources. And I'm just going to do something really simple here. Somebody asked about the tab in the chat. Here's the tab again. This is how you toggle between personal resources, your personal resources, and company resources, okay? So now I'm in company resources. I'm going to go here and click opportunity, peak present, super easy. I'm going to send. Now, if I don't know what these things are, you just click the orange buttons over here and you can see what's going to look like. And you see at the bottom of the funnel, this is why you fill out all your information and settings. I'm going to go back to the app. I want to send this 3-minute video. Now you can see that I've already sent this to Micah. If I mouse over, see my little hand here. If I mouse over this icon, you can actually click it and it will tell me, this is so powerful, guys, that this prospect, on October 14th, that was last week, watched 37% of this video. I'm going to send it to him again. Say, hey, I'm going to text it to him. I'm going to say, hey, you should really watch, the second part of this video. I'm going to send it again. You can rewrite the text here and just hit send. Okay. And once they get that, obviously they'll start watching it again. I'll get a notification on my phone right away from the top that Mike has started watching the video, right? And then when he's done watching the video or he stops watching the video, wherever they drop off, I'll get a notification as a premium user. Now, why is that important? Because that's the optimal time to follow up. And you just follow up. Hey, what'd you like best about the video? This works to a T. And the person generally says, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about you. I was watching the video. Really? Imagine that, wow. They have no idea that you're monitoring them watching the video, right? So that works. And then you create a discussion. What did you like best? Whatever is a nice thing to say. So that's how you send resources. Let's roll in here. Patrick talked about personal resources. I'm going to go a step further. Your personal resources are right here. I toggle the button up here. Let me show you an easy way where you can add anything you want, including rewriting the company pre-written text. Okay. So all you do is you go right here to the browser and you do the same thing in iOS. I'm using a Android today, and you hit share. You see share right here. So you're going to share this web page. You can share a Google photo. You can share a video, any link that you have. Just hit share. All right. And this is a super easy way to get it into my personal resources. And you find the Daisy app. I see it right here. I click the Daisy app. Watch what happens. Boom. Automatically, it adds that link. It even fills out everything for you. Look at that. The title and everything. All I have to do now is just categorize this. All right. Finance. And rewrite. This is my pre-written message here. First name. Hey, check this out. I can rewrite all of the company resources that are in the app. I can save to my personal resources with my own pre-written message in there. So the next time I go to send this resource from personal resource, it will have the message that I wrote in there. So you don't like what's in there, go ahead and rewrite it and add it to your personal resource. It's a little life hack there, little top hack, right? A Daisy app hack. And then as you see, I've got it here under my personal resources. So always guys, I can't say this enough, because this is the amateur mistake that always happens. People go right to resources and then they go text it to a contact. Don't do that. These are generic resources. They're not tied to any contact. When you send a resource to a contact, make sure you add them to the phone first. Okay. And then go into contacts and then select the contact and then hit send resources. Now, when I send that resource link is tied to this contact. It's tied to Micah. It's unique only to him. And then at the bottom of the page, all his information's filled out, pre-filled out. So that's just one thing that people, they kind of miss that step, but I want to tell you, you got to go to the contact first. So we talked about personal resources. Patrick talked about event invites. Man, you can add any event to your app, just the upper right here. I'm going to show you real quick. And not only that, we have some semi-automatic text event invite right there. Skip for now. And there's your personal. You can of course invite them. We're going to work. Hey, if you're a leader and you need events in here for your team, let's work together. Let's get it done. I'm going to hit right up here. That's how you add your own personal events as well. And I'm going to scroll down. I want to talk about, let me stop right here, would be a great time to talk about the Facebook chat. I'm going to put this. When you're in your back office, you just turn this on. And this isn't for everybody. If you don't, this is an advanced tip right here. But you use Facebook Messenger to prospect. And I love what Patrick said. Use social media. Don't let it use you. I mean, if you look at Tony Robbins and his campaigns, they're awesome. They use social media great. But what do? They get them out of social media and they put them in their own database right away, right? And then they follow up with them with texts and emails personally. They use social media. They don't let social media use them. Here's a great way to use social media. Turn this toggle on, and all it asks is for your page ID. And when you do that, let me show you what happens. I'll show you in its finality. You can also find a lot of these tips and tricks at learn.rapidfunnel.com. I'm going to put this link below for you. Let me go all the way to the bottom here. Oops. And here it is, Facebook Messenger. So on all of your funnel pages, you're getting started. Every funnel page in your app, this little browser will pop up, this little chat window. If you put your Facebook ID in the marketplace, like I just showed you, there's a nice little video here that shows you how to do it. How cool is that? They watch the video, Facebook Messenger pops up, and it says to the prospect, hey, prospect, what did you like best about the video with your name? And they can chat with you right there in Facebook Messenger. It's not for everybody, but those of you who use Facebook Messenger to prospect and communicate, love this feature. They crush it with this feature. I'm going to put this in the chat if you want to watch how to do it. Let me find my chat. There's our chat. There it is. And I'm going to paste that, and I'm going to look at a few questions. I'm going to open it up right now. I'm going to stop sharing because we got 10 minutes left, and I promised Michael we'd do a live Q&A. So let's do that now. You guys feel free to unmute. I'm going to look at the chat. Got a little behind. Who do I use to mirror your phone screen? Great question, Robert. It's PowerSoft. It's called PowerSoft. Let me make sure that Power Mirror. I'm sorry. If you Google that, it's a desktop app and a phone app. It's a great way to share. I got that advice from people like you that said, hey man, we can't see what you're doing. You're moving too fast. So that way you can see, awesome. So feel free to unmute. We haven't had a lot of questions today. I appreciate you guys. All right. Well, I'll keep going in the last 10 minutes. Feel free to unmute. Can Telegram be added to user info? Your user info, Telegram. That's great. I like Telegram for all the reasons that Michael pitched it. And Michael, you're on mute. You can jump in anytime, brother. I appreciate you. You didn't get to speak much. Michael, what do you want to say, man?
Yeah, look, what I'd get everyone to understand is that it's not only a great range of resources and tools for those who know about, all the features, but there's a large majority of people out there who don't even know what they don't know, who don't even know how to combine all these tools together, don't even know that they actually need these tools, don't even know how these things actually combine together. And so one of the great advantages of what's being actually released to you here is that you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to think about what do I need that I don't even know that I need, and what do I need to to learn to how to pull this together. I've been working online now for 21 years full time, and I'm still learning all the time. And I know Mike has been doing this for a long time as well. And the great thing about this is if you're going to duplicate in your team quickly, you don't want to spend all your time trying to reinvent the wheel or learning how to design a wheel. I know people have spent an entire year developing their perfect system, and they finally make an announcement in 1 year's time, I've got my website perfect. And meanwhile, someone else has actually built $1 million income in their first year, just leveraging what was already there in place. So the great thing about this, folks, is that we've got the content that's actually specific to Daisy, that we've got a backbone through Rapid Funnel that's already been tested on actually 100 plus companies. I think you've got in your group. Is that right, Michael? Roughly using your technology. So we're not trying to create this on the fly. This is a proven model, and it's based on proven as far as the experience of Patrick. I mean, not many people build a 1 million person organization in network marketing. You probably count on the planet in two hands how many people have done that. So the people who put this together, and also with Michael with his great marketing experience, and what I've been able to help with is I've been with Daisy from day dot, and I've got an intimate understanding of what content needs to be created. So I think that's one of the huge advantages you've got here, is you've got a lot of experience and talent and a very strong technology backbone. But it's not about technology. It's about being able to leverage technology so you can focus more on the relationship and doing network marketing, which is basically connecting with people, helping to find out what their why is, and actually present a solution.
That's right. And that's something we covered in the first meeting. Look, yeah, I'm a digital marketer. I know Michael's done some things, but guess what? Everybody on your team is not a digital marketer. They don't, they can't build $4,000 click funnels, right? There's a reason why we're called rapid funnel. We take that concept and we make it easy and duplicatable for your team so they can get up and going in 5 minutes and $12 and share your company story authentically with whoever they want. Now I know, and I've talked to these stories all the time. Somebody's just bought this $4,000 how to build click funnels, course, right? And at the end of the course, their brain has exploded. They're been melted right there in front of you, and they don't have anything at the end of the day. I can tell you with hundreds of thousands of users, I see who crushes it and I see who doesn't. And you got a great, strong leader here in Michael. We need more leaders to come together and be open-minded and work together and build this app. We need your suggestions. This is your app. You get to make it. It's fluid. It changes, with each suggestion. It gets better with group codes and each leader, with each contest we pump. Can you imagine? I really want to go. I'm not going to call up the app again here, but I'm going to reach out to these guys. I know I said it last week, but in the contests, I really want to meet Frederick McClure, Clayton Bromley, Powell Burron, Chizo. I want to meet these guys. These are good numbers. Look at these points. If you look in the app, you'll see in the leaderboard. And I want to see why these guys are crushing it and how they're crushing it and what their results are. And that would be great, Michael, if we could get on the corporate Daisy line. And I don't talk that much. I let these leaders show how they're crushing it with the app. And I'm sure they're happy to show you. I'm sure once I get starting to talk to them, I would love to do that. If you guys know those guys, I'm going to reach out to them, but let them know I'm calling and I'm sure they're duplicating too. I'm sure they've got a way and they understand the power in the app. And I'm sure that these guys are connected as well. So anyway, that was great, Michael. Good point. Good point. I like the messenger thing. You got it, Robert.
I think it's another thing that Patrick raised as well at the very start was that the greatest, as far as the bottleneck that actually holds people up or complicates for getting started, is not knowing what to do in terms of how to download TronLink or Clever or get the Chrome extension, how to get the USDT in their TRX, how to register somebody using those applications, how to get their tiers, how to upgrade their tiers. And you don't have to worry about that because that is all explained in short little 1 to 2 minute videos, and it's all in order. It's in logical order. Do you like to work on your phone or your PC? Which app did you get? So you don't have to think about that. That's already there, step by step, mapped out for somebody. So that works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't, because most people are working as part-time. Most people have normal day jobs or businesses. And so the beauty about this, leveraging this, is not only have you got a great backbone of technology, but the content is designed to make sure that nobody has to enter this without knowing what to do. Because the onboarding process is the most complicated step with Daisy. Once they're on board, it's not too hard after that. And we've even got videos in there about what do you do in the first 48 hours? What do you do in the first 30 days? How about we give you an actual tour of the back office? So all those short little videos are there that just make sure that from the day they start, the moment they start with Daisy, they know what to do to get onboarded and they know what they should be doing from the minute they start.
Awesome. Yeah. So Sala says, just feedback. I tried using the Facebook Messenger and the rapid funnel makes Daisy app makes my work so seamless. Thank you. Hey, there's two things here I'm talking about. When you select a resource, you see the share button over here. You can actually share it to Facebook Messenger directly, and it will pre-populate your text. But what I like to do is I like to use the copy button, and the copy button's at the top on Android, and I can cut and paste this and then open up Instagram and then select the contact because, it's kind of wonky a little bit because you could send the same message to multiple contacts, and you got to be careful because remember, that's that contact's unique link. And you go send it to 5 people, you may get 5 notifications that 4 other people have watched the video, right? So be very careful about that. I honestly don't I don't really use the share. I'm always surprised. Like WhatsApp works really good. It pre-populates it into WhatsApp. I haven't tried Telegram. I probably should, but I like to cut and paste right here and do that. What I was talking about, just real quick, Salah, is let me show you this, how the messenger works. Just so you see it. Grow team. Hold on. This is my thing right here. Pre-landing pages. I'm going to send you guys this. You can opt into kind of watch what happens in the bottom right. Can you see the bottom right? After a while, boom, the Facebook chat messenger. You see that pops up. And then, well, because I already clicked it, boom, I can chat in messenger right there. If they're already logged in, they don't even have to log in, and I can chat. So that's what I was talking about earlier. That Facebook messenger integration, really, really good. I mean, your prospects are 10 times more likely to click that chat than they are to fill out that contact form, right? So make sure you utilize that. So we're at the top of the hour. If we don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and we'll shut it down. We thank you guys for being here. I hope you found this valuable. If you want us to do more, let's get us on the main Daisy line. We'd be happy to do that next time. And we'll find a way to capture information we have your information already if you downloaded the app, but we wanted to be specific to who is on the call and follow up with those guys. We work with the willing, right? So we don't babysit. So if you want to be a champion, we want to know who you are and we want to help you get there. And that's what my team, the Grow team, does. You'll see a link in a follow-up email. You can book any of our GTEs like Ernan. I'd pick Ernan. He's your dedicated Daisy GTE. When you get that link of the recording, we're also going to put this up in the app. Michael, you want to close this out, brother? Unless there's any questions.
Thanks, Mike. I got great training, and the recording of last week's session is in the official Telegram group. In fact, the actual post that we posted in the official Telegram group and in the other groups has the actual link to the recording from last week, and it had the invite for this week. But you really want to download the app. I mean, it's free. It's free to download. You can start using some of the functionality right now and get used to familiar with it. And of course, the recording of last week's session and this session are in there as well. It's another great session. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate your time today. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Take care, guys. All right.
Recording stopped.
Have a great day, evening.